Good morning. This is going to be my first live where I am the host of an interview. I have joined in on some other people's lives, and I thought I'd just hop on that bandwagon. So, hi. Zoe just joined. Hi, Zoe. We're waiting for Marissa to come on here, and hopefully I can figure out all the buttons. But Marissa is a marketing expert. She runs her own agency. And in fact, I am a subscriber to her monthly hashtag membership, where she curates hashtags specifically for you, based on your goals, your audience, and what was the word I'm looking for? Oh, and what's trending. And so because there's like a science to this. So she is, here we go. She's coming in. Let's see here. How do I do this? How do I ask people? Oh, here we go. View request. Here we go. It says here, I think. Did I do it right?
Oh. Hello, good morning.
I figured out the buttons.
I know, it's always like a little panicky of like, what if I do it wrong? Do I ever get a second chance?
I know, will my fat finger hit the wrong thing?
I know, and it's so crazy that anyone can request to be in a video. You know?
It is.
Like literally anyone.
Maybe I'll just start hijacking lives.
Totally. People do that all the time. Isn't that weird?
Do they?
Yeah.
That's a thing. Idea it was a thing. Maybe I'll do it, from, bed or something and be like, hello. Well, good morning again. Thank you so much for joining us today. I was just kind of talking about you and your field of expertise, and how I know you, which I know you because a friend of mine subscribed to your hashtag membership. And through the magic of social proof, I decided to contact you as well. But why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do?
Totally. I'm Marissa with Haymaker Marketing. So I help small businesses, either I take over their social media marketing because sometimes you can't do it, right? Or I do full management, or I help them run it in different ways. One of those ways is to supply them with hashtags, or I do consultations. Yep, I live in Colorado. Haymaker Marketing started because I started working for a whole bunch of nonprofits. I mean, not working, volunteering. And I was usually the youngest person there. And so they'd be like, do you want to do Instagram? Do you want to do Facebook? And so I'm a keen researcher. My degree is in elementary ed, so I like learning, and so I just got good at doing social media, and then I realized this could be a real job. So I can do this, which I really like, getting small businesses out there. Ooh, I like that part of it. But I also do this so that I can do other things. I'm a writer. I still volunteer for all these nonprofits.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's a little bit about me. I'm really just there to help small businesses with their social media. Yeah. And I love it.
We need help with that because it's just an ever-changing and evolving tool. It's really cool. We've got to leverage it to meet our goals and, plug it into our strategy. And, when it's constantly changing, it's hard sometimes to just keep up with it.
Oh, it is, right? And like you can spend endless time on it. Even I'm a social media marketer, and I have to be like, I can't spend hours researching what the best, how many hashtags. Eventually you got to be like, I'm just going to put some hashtags on there.
Yeah, that pool. So
yes, totally.
Of hashtags, why don't you tell us a little bit exactly like how hashtags work and how we should be using them? And then I know we've got a couple of questions specifically.
I know.
Address.
I saw that. Absolutely. Hashtags are kind of my thing, for sure. Sorry. It's early morning here in Colorado, so I just woke up. Yes, so hashtags, the best way if you want to see how hashtags work is to go in the search bar in on Instagram. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's like the little magnifying glass, I think is what it is. That is the best way. And just put in a hashtag that you love or that you use often. One I like is called 9 to Thrive, okay? Instead of 9 to 5. It's very clever. Okay, and if you put it on there, you will see how hashtags work. You can have a good hashtag. There are definitely good hashtags and there are definitely bad hashtags, okay? But hashtags are ranked by how many views they've gotten, how much basically engagement. So engagement means likes, saves, shares, okay? So if you look on a hashtag page, so if you look on hashtag 9 to Thrive, sorry, there's a trash truck outside my house. Real life, right? We're all just in our houses. But if you look at that, you will see the first you'll see a reel, which is really interesting. That's why reels are really important, okay? And then the next thing you will see is the top picture for that hashtag, okay? So the top means the one that got the most engagement, the most likes, saves, okay, all of that. Now, this is most likely going to be like a big influencer, okay, because they have a lot of engagement and they have a lot of followers. So that's where that one's going to be, okay? And then as it ranks down, that's the highest, and then it slowly goes down from the most engagement down, okay? So as a small business owner, you probably are never going to be in that first one. I know. You can go for it, but you probably won't. Now you could be in a reel, which we can talk about later, which is because reels are pretty new. I've gotten some of my clients on the first on a reel. Yes, I'll tell you. I'll teach you the secret. But there is another tab on hashtags. So if you guys if you go beyond this and look at this, you should. There's one called the recent tab. Okay, so it's not the top; it is the recent, which is a chronological. So whoever has posted last. Okay, so if people are searching for what you put in, like brand photographer, okay, if you just posted, they will see yours first, even if you don't have enough likes, shares, all of that, okay? So that is how hashtags work. So it's great because some things are just like either I'm a huge influencer or I'm not, but hashtags you can kind of weigh in the middle there, which is really, really great. So that's how they work. I feel like I am talking your ear off. There's also yes, but there's also another element of hashtags. So there's just the that's if someone was searching for your hashtag, I don't know, pottery vases. Okay, they could look at the top ones and they could also look at the recent ones. Sometimes people look at the recent ones because they want to buy from a small business. They don't want to buy from a huge company. Another thing about niche hashtags are like hashtags that influencers or brands or sometimes just a group of people create, something like 9 to Thrive, something catchy, something little. It's these hashtags that people follow because now you can follow hashtags. Right. I don't know if any of you guys are doing that. I do that. There's some rumors out there that you should be following the hashtags that you want to be involved in. I don't know if that's true, but the people, if they're following 9 to Thrive because they're like, these are women entrepreneurs, I want to be friends with them, I want to network with them, they could see yours just coming up on their feed really quick. And that's why niche hashtags are so powerful, because you might actually show up on their feed. So yep, that's like a little mini lecture on what hashtags are and how they work.
I know. I feel like you could dive way deeper into all of that too. Like there's just, almost the science and the mathematics behind how we should be using these hashtags. And totally. One of the questions, I think it was Zoe that asked it this morning, is how many should we be using on our post? And how do we know, should it just be about what our post is about? Like if I'm posting about pottery, should I tag it only pottery, or do I also add in the trendy stuff. Like how many should I be using? Let's answer Zoe's question.
Yes, totally. Hey, Zoe. Yes, this is because there was a big post about we saw now you should only be using 10 or 12, right? Or 15, as that was what was being said. It was a
It's
big
different.
post a few weeks ago.
Different, yeah.
Yes, yes. I am a big researcher. So I saw that and I was like, this is important to what I am doing. And I'm really, really careful about like what I'm sharing because literally anyone could make up anything. Okay. So I looked for that. I was like, they were like, someone at Instagram had a live and they shared this, okay, of like using only 15. And so I looked, I'm like, where's the source? Show me the video.
Yeah.
Show me the person who works at Instagram. And I couldn't find it. So it just like sourced to it, but it did not say like, here's the video. So I am not sure about the 12 to 15. Now, so I tend to use 30 because that's the max amount. But I also follow, there's these people called the Maze team. I love them. They are like credible people. They have been using 12 to 15 and have seen better results. So the answer is, and they've been doing that for like years now. So it's not just like new on the hype. So my answer is just try them out. Try 12, try 30, try 15, try 30, and see what happens. And don't worry, I'm asking, the head of Instagram does a Q&A often. I follow him. And you guys should be too, if you really want to. He's been really awesome. His name is Adam. He's like, he's like, there's so much mystery about how Instagram works. He's like, I'm just going to start answering questions. So he does a Q&A and I am asking every time, should I use 15 hashtags or 30 hashtags?
Well, is there any, value to quality over quantity? I mean, if you're using 30 hashtags and you're reaching people that don't really care about your content, well, they're not going to like you. They're not going to follow you. They're not going to comment or save. But if you're using 12 or 15 hashtags that actually reach your people, then they're more likely to interact and engage with you. So
totally.
Maybe, if it's just 30, just for the sake of having 30, you're not going to see any results. It's the quality of it.
Totally. So just try them out. Absolutely. And see what works for you. I've had accounts, there's so many factors with hashtags, right? You can have a really good set of hashtags, but if you're posting the worst photo in the world, right? Or it's blurry, or if you're posting something like that nobody cares about, it doesn't matter. Like you're, so there is an element of like experimenting with hashtags. So try 30 with a photo of you. Those are always the best ones. Okay. Yeah. And then try 15 with a photo of you and see if it works. And which one works better for you with the same hashtag set. It's a science. Do you have time for this? Maybe not. But if you're like getting into it, yeah.
But have the time for that. And that is why we hire you.
Right. Totally. And that's why I made hashtag subscriptions. It was actually people asking me. I got good at searching for hashtags during quarantine because what else are you going to do? And there are so many other things to do. I'm just joking. But yes. And so someone asked me, I would love to get 60 hashtags, so 2 sets of 30 personalized for my account every month. And I would love for it just to come on the first. So I don't have to think about it. I can try them out. I don't have to do all the research to find them.
You just email it to me. But you started talking about it, about how we know if they're working. And I know another question that someone asked too, which was really good, and I don't even think I thought about it, but it was, okay, I've got 30 hashtags. My insights are telling me that 250 people saw my post because of hashtags. How do I know which one of those is the one that's working?
Yeah, don't we all want to know that? Me too. There's 2, I don't really know, but there are two ways. There are some schedulers. So I use a scheduler named Later, but there's other schedulers. I think there's one called Sprout Social that say that they will show you which hashtags are working. I don't think they choose the hashtags for you, but they will show you how they're performing. I've never used them before, and I'm a little cautious about using outside apps on Instagram and Facebook because sometimes they penalize them, you know? Instagram just decides sometimes, like, if you use a TikTok watermark on your reel, we're going to penalize you, you know? Instagram has like a list, Instagram and Facebook, of like businesses that they're okay with collaborating with, but it is a very long list and it's hard to find things. If anyone's used like Sprout Social or anything like that, you guys should message and see if it's worked. Another thing, I don't know if anyone's seen this, if you promote your post, if you go through the process of promoting your post and then you go back, it will sometimes show you the hashtags and how many views you got from each hashtag. That's only worked for me once. So I don't know if that's a fluke, but you should try it, guys. If you can, you just promote a post. And then from there, you go back, and then it will show, if you go back to your insights, it might show you which hashtags are performing well.
Can you hashtags and ads? Like if you, instead of promoting a post, if you create an ad, does it do the same thing? It shows you which hashtags in the ad are working?
It uses the hashtags that were in your post. The ad does.
Well, if I created an ad without, like, instead of promoting a post, if I like went to like the, you know, the ad center, you know, it's all the Facebook business stuff, and organically created an ad, does hashtags work for that? Or is that just the demographics that I set for my,
if you go through Facebook business is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure because they don't ask you about hashtags at all.
Don't ever put in the actual copy, like caption of the ad. No. Because you go ahead in there and you like, I want women this 25 years old to see it, you know, like that's how you're kind of to show it to. But
I don't know that one. I'm sorry.
But you can't promote posts. So hashtags do have merit in a promoted post.
Yeah. I mean, I think why else would they show you in those insights of like this hashtag did this?
Interesting.
I know. It's not interesting. I mean, I could be wrong. So
no,
I'll ask Adam, the head of Instagram, that question.
Data and putting it in there for you. There's got to be a reason that they're collecting it, and it might even be for their own use to know which hashtags are performing the best.
I know, which is annoying. They won't show it to us easily.
Yeah.
Please just show us. You are collecting this.
So tell us about how hashtag works. You said you talked about Reels and you're like, I have something cool about Reels I wanted to share. So what is your thing about Reels?
Yes. So Reels are cool right now because they are, if you look at a hashtag set, okay, the first one is Reels. It's the long video. So if you are the first one to post on that hashtag, guess what? You're the first reel right there. So this is where I talk about location hashtags. I normally don't tell people like use hashtags that have less than 100 posts on them. There's a good middle ground of a good hashtag. But if you are making a reel, you should be using those little hashtags that relate to your location and your business, okay? So because you might be the first one on that reel, even if it's not like you don't have the best engagement. Okay, I have 1,000 followers and I live in Fort Collins, Colorado. There's a lot of other businesses, okay? So when I post on a hashtag of like Fort Collins business owner, okay, I'm not going to be the top one because there's some big influencers that live here, okay? But if I post Fort Collins social media manager, a little bit more specific, guess what? My reel is going to probably be number one because there's not very many. Or I don't know if it is. I haven't looked. But so I do this for realtors. I'll just go through every city, realtor in every suburb, and then I'll post some reels hoping that he'll be first. And I've gotten him on a few. So try that, guys. Yes. That's why I gave you those hashtags.
Wait, and so wait, you were saying something and now my mind is all like getting analytical about it. But then in order for it to pop up for anyone to see that reel is number one, they have to search that hashtag, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But which is great because people do use Instagram to search for things.
It is
Okay.
realtor
Every
in Collins is probably a very popular search.
Yes, totally. And so, or you know, every time I go to a new city, I look up coffee shops on Instagram, you know? And so that, yeah, they won't pop up on someone's probably feed or their, I mean, if unless someone is following Fort Collins social media manager. But it will if someone is looking for me already.
That very cool. That is
Yes.
very, very cool. And you something else that made me think of another question about hashtags. So when you're typing in the hashtag, it starts to auto-populate with ideas before you're done typing, and it gives you a number.
Yes.
Use 8.3 thousand times or whatever it is, or
Yes.
use less than 1,000 times. How should I be interpreting those numbers? Like, what do those numbers mean to me?
Totally. Totally. Well, it depends if you're what you're going for. There is some like merit to using all those location hashtags even if they're small. If people are looking for you. There are ones that you use if people are looking for you and you don't care how big or how small. You just want to be there. So that's where using every time Fort Collins social media manager Fort Collins socials in Fort Collins. Okay, so there's not going to be very many, but if any kind of query, they're going to find you. You're going to be on there. So in those, if you're doing that, it needs the smaller the better, if that makes sense.
But that's stuff that you get from your Google Analytics when it's telling you in your like SEO insights, when it's telling you what people are searching for to find your website. You could probably pull all that same stuff and dump it into a hashtag because people are searching those and finding you that way. They can find you the other.
That's genius. All right, let's collaborate.
Yay.
Yeah, it's essentially SEO. You're right, for Instagram. But yeah, you're asking what is the good chunk in between. So anything between yeah, right? Anyone could do this. This is what I do when I search for subscription hashtags. You all can do this. Sometimes you just don't have time. So the millions, you want to stay away from millions. You are too little. You will not be found in the millions. You just need to accept it. Okay? So things like Live Authentic or Selfie Saturday, those things are gone. Nobody's going to be seen on those except for big influencers. Okay? And then you want to stick anywhere from in the thousands range. Just in the thousands range. Okay? I like 100,000. That's like kind of where the sweet spot is. And then less than 1 million. Any of those are fair game to me.
Okay.
And sometimes you have to test, right? Sometimes they work out awesome and sometimes they don't. The niche hashtags are the ones that work better. That's where you have to dig into like influencers and bloggers and see which hashtags they're using. Those are always better. But I do exactly that, where I'll search in the search bar, and if it meets the requirement where it's less than 1 million, but in that 100,000 range or less, I'll use them.
Thank you. So speaking of what you do, why don't you tell everybody what they can do? I mean, I know that you've got some freebies out there, which are really awesome. So tell us about that everybody can get. And then I think your subscription is closing.
It's closing this week. Yes.
Tell us about the freebies and then about membership.
Yep. So if you just want to try out hashtags, I made 2 hashtag sets and I'm giving away for free. One is quotes and one is for influencers. They're just really general, basic. I hope they work for you, but they're pretty general. You can get that for free if you go on the link in my bio. I actually think that it's not on there right now, but I will get it on there. Because I took it off for subscription hashtags. People get confused, but or you can DM me and I'll get that to you. But the other thing is my curated niche hashtag subscriptions. So that's how Janelle and I really are connected. Is I find hashtags for you. I curate it to your account. You do a little survey. I look at your account and I will send you 2 sets of 30 hashtags, and they'll have a category generally about what you are looking for. So basically, I do what I do for my clients for you. So if I manage someone, I find new hashtags for them. I try to every month. And so, yeah, you'll have a set of hashtags sent to you. It's $65 a month. And it's not like I'm redefining the book. You can find your own hashtags. But if you're like, I got to outsource something, like I don't have time to spend 30, 40 minutes looking for good hashtags, I do. Partly because I have some knowledge of, like, I know I have a good database of hashtags, and also I just know here's who I look for. Oh, here's an influencer that might be similar. Yeah, so that's them. You can ask Janelle if she likes them. It's okay. Yeah.
And then once you get it, so the way that I do it is that I use Planoly for my Instagram, social media, whatever, scheduler. And then you can create lists within hashtags. So I break up those lists that you give me and I kind of combine them with my own stuff, like, you know, Fayetteville photographer, or, you know, Raleigh photographer, you know, all that stuff. And then kind of pull and pick it out from there, because there is something to know about not using the exact same set for every single post. So what happens to you if you have 30 hashtags and you use the same set for every single post? What happens? Or what?
Right. Instagram will flag you as bot, right? And so we've all experienced that.
Bot. The bad bot.
Yeah. Robot.
Yeah.
We've all experienced that, right? Where we get those annoying comments of like, this post is fire. Check out my skincare line. Okay.
Promote it on whatever. DM me.
Yes.
Aaron, right on that. Right.
I will not DM you. I will block you right now.
Yeah.
But here's the deal: is it hates that. We all hate that. And so if you are using the same hashtags over and over, it's going to be like, that's like commenting over and over, right? That's like any of those things. So you got to switch them up, and you got to make them as much as you can towards your post. And I love that you're doing that, Janelle, that you are like, I am taking the hashtags that I'm giving you, but I'm also like moving ones around that I know work for this post. That is genius. That's genius, because I can't do that, as I'm not running your business and I don't know what your caption is going to be about. You know, I can guess by who your ideal client is, but I love that you're doing that. So you're wanting to make it as specific as possible. Now, is it okay to throw in some that are like general women in business and whatever? Absolutely. Go for it. But you just don't want to be using the same ones over and over. Okay. Sometimes I even just put a few hashtags. I'll do a post and I'll be like, I'm just going to do 5, just to be like, not a robot.
One more question for you.
Oh yeah,
and then I'm going to let you get on with your day, because I know you've got lots of stuff for you. But there is one thing, and I did not do any research on it. It was one of those things I just sort of heard someone, I don't even know who it was, talk about, and I just tried it, where you post something, I think I talked to you about it too, where you post something without hashtags to get all of that organic engagement from the people who it's going to show up on their post because they follow you a lot, and then going back the next day and adding in the hashtags. Do you know any validity to this? You know, I've done it a couple of times, probably on accident more than anything.
Yes.
Where I get, you know, it's an automatic post and I forgot or whatever.
Yes.
And then so I want to know if there's any validity to that, if you know, or if that even makes sense, or if it's just dumb people, you know, people just trying to make things complicated. And then is there a difference with posting the hashtags in the caption versus a comment? Because I feel like there is.
Oh, really?
I feel that I get better hashtag insights if it's in the caption than I do on the comments. Not as a general rule, but like at least initially off the bat, because it's usually after a post is up for a couple days, then it really starts getting traction.
Yeah.
But I in my very unscientific analysis, feel like if it's the comments, it doesn't get as much traction as it does in the caption. Is there a difference?
I don't think there is a difference. the general consensus is there isn't a difference. Now, I haven't heard from the mouth of the CEO of Instagram that there isn't a difference. So I say whatever works for you. I put mine in the caption because I have seen sometimes when I put it in the comments, the insights don't catch it. Has that ever happened to you before? Where it's like when I'm looking for insights, it'll be like no hashtags. So
Yeah,
I also
that too.
yeah. Has that happened to you?
Like, I think insights in general, it happens. Like the post the other day where I know that you shared the post to your stories, and I know Casey shared the post, but still in my insights, it said that no one shared that post.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but then I can click the view story reshares and they're there. And so like it's not hitting everything, at least not right away. And so
Okay.
I give stuff like time to marinate before I feel like it's actually delivering it numbers.
Totally. Well, let's just put them in the whole post. I do that for convenience, honestly. It's just for me. I'm like, I don't have time to remember every one of my clients. And I don't have the scheduler. I know that some schedulers will put it in the comment now later.
Yes, that's it.
Yes. Okay, cool. But I just put them straight in, use all the dots, but I don't think it, besides that weird, like sometimes it works though, and it's great. And then sometimes it's like, yeah, I'd maybe just stick to the caption, but totally up to you guys. So yes. Was there another question before that?
Yeah, that was that whole like organic engagement before you try to get the hashtag engagement.
Yes. I have no idea about that. That doesn't totally make sense to me because ranking wise, right? If you think back to how you rank hashtags, the first one is the one with the most engagement. So saying that you want to delay more engagement does not make sense to me in that way. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm saying,
yeah. It doesn't make
you know,
sense to me. I mean, I'm not in the algorithm. Maybe there's like, they like the delay or whatever. But that doesn't make sense to me that you would do that, that you'd have all your organic. You're going to get your organic no matter what.
True.
Right? Because it's the people who already are engaging with you and following you. They're the ones that are going to see it. So I don't know why you would do that and then do hashtags. I would want them all at once. So hopefully my ranking got higher.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was an effort to like try to make sense of it all, or beat the system, or who knows? I mean, I think like one of those things where we just like want it to work really good right away, and
Totally.
So I try this, and I try
totally.
to and upside down when I hashtag.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we try all those things, right? The head of Instagram, Adam, he just said, I'm using his first name like I know him. His last name is hard to say, and that is the reason. But he just talked about how when you're doing ranking, meaning who's seeing your stuff, which we call the algorithm, which he's like, there's not one algorithm. There's like lots of them. But he said really a thing that really determines is history. So do you have a history of interaction with people? So that will affect your hashtags. People are more likely going to see your stuff if they're looking at the hashtag, if you have some interaction with them already. So that I loved that because that was something we could do that doesn't feel like a hoop that we're like weirdly jumping through. Right. Yeah, of like I do you want to see my stuff? I will interact with you.
So treat it, participate in the community. Yes. Will be rewarded.
Yes, absolutely.
Do all the things. Well, everyone, thank you, Marissa, so much for joining us.
Yes.
One who showed up for the live. It's going to be, of course, posted to view later at your pleasure.
Yes.
If you've got more questions that we didn't talk about, just put it in the comments, and I'll make sure that Marissa comes back and answers them.
Yeah, I'll answer them.
Go to her Instagram bio, get all of her freebies, and make sure you join up for her subscription membership before it closes this week.
Yes. Thank you.
Seriously a lifesaver. It's just one less thing to worry about. And honestly, like when I feel like trying to tackle the beast, like in my head, it just feels like this huge thing I've got to master. when there's someone else that can, but you don't just throw out hashtags. You've got resources where like that educate on how to use it and what you should be doing and how to read those insights, because if you just throw it out there and then leave them, then you're not doing yourself any justice. So you educate on how to read those insights and what to be looking for. So it's not just the easy fix. Marissa actually like make it better.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't believe in those. That was what was so annoying to me in the social media marketing world, of just this like, do this and it'll work. I'm like, you guys are liars. Yeah, so I'm a straight shooter. But I love that the education part, you keep bringing that up. I need to make sure that I communicate that. Yep, I'll give you a free PDF of like best practices, and I have a little reel of like, here's what good hashtags look like in your analytics, and here's what bad ones look like. So yeah. Thank you. You are so sweet.
You'll learn all the tricks. All the tricks.
Oh, thank you. Okay, have a great day today.
You same. Thank you, Marissa.
Bye, everyone.
Off now. Take care.
You too.
Bye.